What's up, fellow barbarians? Today we have the Rend bleed build, and it's not as good as Flay, but still pretty decent. To compare it to Flay, we are going to show off Pit 70. Okay, before we get started, our resistances are almost maxed out, so we are going to use a potion. Fire, and the incense to get fire, cold, and shadow. There, perfect. Let's go. So this build is different from Flay, not as powerful, but still decent. Unfortunately, the worst part about this build is the bossing. Bossing with this build, Rend has never been a good bosser, but we can kill mobs no problem. Even with the leads, it is a little rough. And you gotta, same with Flay, you want them to be in big groups. We want to bring that guy in too. I want the damage buff guy. One thing I do like about Rend is the AoE skill. I really wish it did more damage. And in this one, we only use Rupture to finish them off. And to get some attack speed. We stand still, we rend, and then we hit a Rupture. And you do want to get hit a little bit because we want to use our iron skin. As with our iron skin we have the conceited aspect on. So we want that barrier up all the time to make sure that we get the damage bonus. And the main one we get our fury is Call of the Ancients. So I do like how we can just group them up and just hit everyone. Where Flay, we are not able to do that. And Rupture still does a good job, but I find Rend just does a better job. I really, really like it. And the bigger the groups, literally the better Rend does. Look at that. Awesome. Alright, run over past these guys. Drag them in. Waller guys always suck. But I'll take them over poison any day. The old shrine effect going. There we go. So very similar playstyle. We also use the aspect of intercom because where we are standing still and we are tanking things, very, very important. And really, groups are what you really want. If you take on one at a time, it won't go very well. Keep your attack speed up. Get hit once or twice, you got your barrier going. Then move on to another group. Where's the damage? Okay, he's dead now. Man, I wish Rend was more powerful. As you see, for time-wise, we're doing pretty good. Rend is by far my favorite skill. I just love it, and that it makes me so sad that it is not as strong as Flay. But how could it be? The Shard of Wrath feels way overpowered for basic skills. Drag him in. Just rend the group. Look at that. Slices through everything. It's so awesome. The only way I think to make Rend, and this would be clearly impossible, but Rend and Flay together, you would have to be able to masterwork both on one. Flay duration and Rend hits twice. I may attempt to make a Flay and Rend build, but I don't think it's going to go very well. Because you just need the tempers. But who knows? Maybe it'll work out. Alright, almost at the end here. Notice how much time we have left. Okay. Alright, so we're at the boss, and we have 6 minutes, and we'll call that 30 seconds. Now, this is where Rend has a major downfall. As you're going to see here, bossing is not easy. If we were Flay right now, we would almost be done. But with Rend, it just does not have the damage. Which is really unfortunate. Like, it still does damage. Don't get me wrong, but this fight is way longer than it needs to be. And we also hit Rupture because we need that attack speed. And now we're going to move out of the way here. Not ready yet. See, we can tank most things. And there we go. All right, that was Rend. As you can see, clearly not as powerful as Flay. And on the boss, we did pit 70. I don't know how much higher I would want to push this because the bossing is just not ideal. For example, the Den Mother, where she disappears all the time and the bleed comes off, that is the absolute worst one. And let's go over the build. In the helmet, we have the Harlequin Crest. If you don't have one, I would suggest using a helmet with strength, armor, and max life. And I would put the Iron Blood in there for their damage reduction with bleeding enemies. Next is the Rage of Hairgath. This is a mandatory piece for all bleed builds. Make sure you get one with the highest lucky hit chance. Then we have the Gloves of Intercom with attack speed, critical strike chance, ranks to rend, and for tempers we put physical damage over time and rend size. In theory, you don't actually need rend size because we're steel grasping and bringing enemies in, but it is an added bonus. And I put physical damage over time, but I am missing some berserking damage. If your Blood Rage node is not capped out, make sure on here you put damage while berserking. And in the pants, we have the Pants of the Iron Warrior. This aspect is mandatory with Iron Skin. This makes Iron Skin one of the best skills. It makes you unstoppable, it gives you a great damage reduction, and it also acts as a potion and gives you full life. And here we have Strength, Max Life, 2 Lightning Resistances, Steel Grasp Stuns. You want to have at least one aspect of Steel Grasp Stuns. In the boots, we have the Weapon Master, so we have an additional charge for our Steel Grasp and our Rupture. We have Max Life, Armor, Poison Res, Movement Speed, and Steel Grasp Stuns. Next, we have the Conceited aspect, and this mace, instead of having damage, I would like it to have another roll of damage over time, but with a greater FX on damage, that is not too bad. But you do want strength and max life as well. Here, you want one of your two-handers to have cut to the bone, and you also want one of your masterworkings to hit cut to the bone. Next, we have the Magnum Opus. Then we have the Accelerating aspect. In this one, I am using an axe. You could use a sword if you'd like. I am using an axe only because it was my only one that had a greater affix that had decent rolls. And you want strength, max life, damage over time, with physical damage over time, and chance for Rend to hit twice. Also on your masterworkings, chance for Rend to hit twice needs to masterwork at least once. And in the two-hander, we have the Edge Masters. We have Max Fury all the time, and here we have strength, max life, damage over time, another physical damage over time, and chance for Rend to hit twice. Very important for chance for Rend to hit twice to be masterworked at least once. I have it here twice, I got lucky, but you want 100% as close as possible. With these two as they are, we are going to hit 100% if we keep masterworking these two items. Right now, we are just 0.5% away from 80%. Then we have the Ring of the Ravenous. This ring is absolutely mandatory. The biggest thing you want with this ring is Rend's duration. I don't really care about all the other stats. If your Rend duration is at 8 seconds, this is the most damage you will be able to do with Rend. Because of that, that is the most important stat. Everything else comes second. If you have a 4-second Rend duration with 4 greater affects, to me, that is almost pointless because with an 8-second one, 4 seconds to 8 seconds, that doubles your damage. So make sure you get one with the highest Rend duration as possible. Next, we have the Starless Skies. Absolutely amazing aspect. And in the amulet, we have the Slaking aspect. This is an absolutely amazing aspect for Rend. Do not play Rend without it because it is perfect. And in here, we have percent to strength, attack speed, critical strike chance, physical damage over time, and cold resistance. Our weapon expertise is two-handed axe. Let's go over the skill tree. We have 3 points in Flay for Battle Flay. Make sure when you're bossing that you hit Flay once every 3 seconds to get that 15% increased bleeding damage. We have 7 points into Rend for Violent Rend, 1 point into Pressure Point to get 3 points into Warpath. We take 3 points into Tempered Fury for our Magnum Opus, 3 points into Imposing Presence, 3 points into Martial Vigor, 3 points into Iron Skin for Tactical Iron Skin, 3 points into Swiftness, 3 points into Aggressive Resistance, 3 points into Prolific Fury, 3 points into Pit Fighter, 3 points into Slaying Strike, 1 point into Exposed Vulnerability, and I always use this when I use Rend because we make them vulnerable for 1 second, which automatically makes them vulnerable for 3 seconds. On top of that, with using the Exploit Glyph, everything will be vulnerable 100% of the time. 3 points into Rupture for Warrior's Rupture. We have 3 points into Cut to the Bone, but this is why you want ranks of Cut to the Bone on one of your two-handed weapons. 3 ranks into Steel Grasp for Fighter Steel Grasp. This is our only way of berserking, so make sure you are steel grasping all the time. 1 rank into Thick Skin for 3 ranks of Counteroffensive and 2 ranks to Irrepressible. We have 4 points into Call to the Ancients for Supreme Call of the Ancients. This is the way that we gain most of our Fury, and it also gives an awesome damage buff. 3 ranks to Duelist, 3 ranks to Heavy Hitter, 3 ranks to Invigorating Fury, and our key passive is Gushing Wounds. For your arsenal selection, make sure all 3 of your skills are on dual wield, as the Magnum Opus will give you the most damage output. And for the Paragon board setup is almost identical to the Flay. We have Ambidextrous in the first board. Our second board is Decimator, where we take Disembowel. Our third board, we take Challenger, which is an absolutely amazing glyph. And the board is Hemorrhage. This will be very easy to max out with this board, as we have vulnerable damage absolutely everywhere in this board. Our fourth board is Blood Rage, and as you see, my Blood Rage is not maxed out, so I'm putting more points into my Ire glyph to help max that out, and once I level this up more, this will be closer to 30%. But if I had one tempering roll onto damage while berserking, this would be maxed out already. And our final board is Warbringer with Exploit. And with my other points that I gain as I try to hit level 300, I will take these here for the Max Fury nodes to boost the power of the Magnum Opus. And that is Rend. Not as strong as Flay, but my favorite playstyle, so I had to cover it. If you want to give Rend a try, it is absolutely amazing for everything in World Tier 3, and as you can see, it does struggle a little bit in World Tier 4. If we look at our glyphs are higher than our Flay build, and yet we still struggled to kill the boss. Overall, this is my favorite playstyle, and I'm just sad it doesn't do more damage. If you're looking for the best bleed barb, I would say go with Flay, but if you really enjoy Rend, give this build a try. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.